I started my bodybuilding journey over 10 years ago. But I'm not gonna lie, when I was first starting out, I used to do and think a lot of dumb stuff. Some of these things are still blowing my mind to this day, so here are the 5 things I wish I knew when I was starting out. The first thing I want to talk about is a trap that a lot of people fall into, and it's not just beginners. Some people keep doing this even after years of going to the gym. This thing is what I call being the optimal chaser slash flip-flopper. It's one of the worst things that can happen to you. It's understandable that beginners fall into this trap, but as I said, it's not just beginners. There is a ton of people who keep on looking for the most optimized exercises, but that is just so wrong on so many levels. If you wanna know my honest opinion, the word optimal doesn't even mean anything. It just makes people jump from one exercise to another one every single week. So it just becomes like, oh, this is cool. Oh, I wanna do that. But I also wanna do this. But also that. And the end result is just a very mediocre physique. And at the beginning of my bodybuilding journey, I unfortunately also got caught in this trap. But I eventually managed to get out of it. And you need to do the same thing. Listen, seriously. Look at me and listen. Stop chasing optimal exercises. What you need to focus on instead are the basic exercises. That is what is going to get you big. That's what the best exercises are. You can go on the Simplified Hub right now by clicking the link in the pinned comment and spend just 5 minutes reading a couple of the body part articles or watch some of the body part videos and you will know exactly what exercises you should do. This is personally one of my biggest regrets, because if you keep on flip-flopping between these optimal exercises, you will never get anywhere, because you are just chasing your own tail. Learn about the basic exercises and start grinding. The next thing I wish I knew when I was starting out is that not all protein is the same. When I was saying that I used to do a lot of dumb stuff, I was referring to this. Back then I thought that protein was always just protein and that there is no difference at all. But I was extremely wrong, and it took me some time before I actually learned more about this topic. You won't believe me when I say this, but I seriously thought that there was no difference whatsoever. Sometimes, when I was feeling lazy and didn't want to prepare a meal for myself, I would just grab a couple bars of chocolate, look at the nutrition label and say, oh wow, if I eat enough of them, I can get enough protein just from chocolate. And proceed to eat a ton of chocolate, thinking that I was super smart for figuring out that you can eat a bunch of chocolate to get your protein in. But that is sadly not how it works. All it did was make me fat. And I can tell you that since that time, you will never see me with a chocolate bar in hand ever again. Yes, I'm traumatized. How did you know? So instead of trying to get in your protein from chocolate or any other terrible food, focus on high quality protein sources like lean meat, eggs, dairy or protein powder. These are the foods that your body will be able to fully utilize to build muscle, which is not the case for foods like the before mentioned chocolate or even foods like rice, bread and even peanuts. Even though the nutrition label of the product might say that it has a certain amount of protein, that doesn't necessarily mean that your body will be able to use all of that amount. If this sounds a little confusing, I highly recommend you to check out this video, which will clear everything up. Well, even though I used to think that I could just get in my protein from chocolate, I'm actually kind of surprised that I understood the concept of progressive overload pretty early on. And that's the next thing I want to talk about. Even though I understood that I need to progressively overload in order to build muscle, I never thought about actually writing it down. So even though I knew I had to progress, I would often just forget what I did last time. And this for sure slowed me down a lot. But hey, at least I almost got it right. So don't repeat the same mistakes and write down all the important stuff. The amount of weight you used, the reps in each set, all of it. Write it down on your phone or just take a paper notebook with you and do it that way. The effort you have to put into it is so small, while the benefits you get from doing it are insanely big. It really doesn't get any easier than this. It's an absolute must if you want to get jacked. Do you think that all the people you see every week in the gym that keep on looking the same year after year are tracking their progress? Of course they don't. That's why they still look the exact same. The gym is not a casino. You can't just come in, do random stuff and expect to come out a winner. Well, you can't really expect that in a casino either, but whatever, you know what I mean. The next thing I wish I knew when I was starting out is that doing cardio will actually make you more jacked, even if it might not seem like that at the first glance. I used to do what I think a lot of you are doing nowadays, which means that you come home from school or work, go to the gym and then spend the rest of your day sitting in front of your PC playing video games, which means zero activity and terrible fitness. Now you might be thinking, how is that relevant to building muscle? Well, my friend, this is very relevant. If you are a notorious cardio skipper, or not even a cardio skipper, just a general movement skipper, then you will run into a lot of troubles in the gym that are caused by your poor fitness. When you start gassing out in the middle of your set, then guess what's gonna happen? You won't be able to get the most out of your muscles, because your cardiovascular system is going to cut you off before your muscles even get a chance to reach failure. And that's not even taking into account how embarrassing it is when you walk up the stairs or something and you immediately start gassing out. You don't even have to do like quote unquote proper cardio if you fear it so much. You just need to start moving at least a little bit. Just go for a walk or something. Literally do anything that will get you out of your seat. Don't forget, heart is a muscle too. The next thing I wish I knew when I was starting out is also connected to the sedentary lifestyle, and that is underestimating how important sleep actually is. It's one of those things that has been said so many times that people don't pay attention to it anymore. I'm pretty sure that when I mentioned sleep, your brain did something like, "Oh yeah, I know dude," and then you stop listening because you are so used to hearing it that you just turn your brain off automatically. But please, turn your brain back on and actually absorb this information I'm about to tell you. Because it might seem like it's not that big of a deal if you just keep on gaming for a couple of hours instead of going to sleep, but it is. In all honesty, if you sleep like 4 to 5 hours every day just to play more video games, party, or literally do anything else, don't even bother working out, because it really doesn't make sense. You are building muscle when you sleep, and if you don't sleep, you don't build muscle. Or at least not as much as you could have. It's really that simple. In this day and age, it seems that people would rather jump on PEDs rather than to use the natural PED called sleep, which is absolutely crazy to me. So stop clowning around with trying to optimize everything when you don't even give your body enough sleep. I guarantee you that if you learn from these mistakes I made when I was starting out, you will surpass 90% of the people who are going to the gym. Because the solution to everything was always in the basics. If you are looking for an easy to follow training or nutrition plan, then go to bodybuildingsimplified.com and get started today. So what are you waiting for? It's just that simple. And as always, a big thanks to all the supporters on my Patreon. Did you like this video? Then you will for sure like this one too.